Hi guys, I just want to speak a little bit more about Seven's mission here and why I'm supporting her in this. When we change paradigms, things are going to get complicated and people are going to get upset about them. But that's just what happens when things are changing. When she first started telling me that she was not from Earth and that she wasn't human, I laughed, but there's been so many things that have happened, like the situations that I explained in a previous video with the beings being in her room and the marks and things like that, and the number of contact visits with the ships that we've had. It just doesn't make sense otherwise. So when she came to me and started telling me that she wanted to tell her story and that she has a very important purpose on Earth, and that's to bring these kids together and to allow the adults to speak to their kids, really to give them a platform to speak, I went into meditation and Spirit told me yes. And I'm a very good intuitive. That's the thing that that's my gift. And when I get answers for things, I'm usually correct. And Spirit told me, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. She chose you. And that was tough for me. I didn't want to let her. I didn't want to put her in a public forum because I can take a lot of criticism. I mean, that doesn't bother me, but I didn't want her to have to deal with it. You know, so I really just want to say this. These kids are so tapped in. They know what they're here to do. They have all of these ideas and things that we take from them when we tell them that things aren't true. When we tell them that they can't do these things, sooner or later they will believe it. So this is kind of my experiment with her, is I don't tell her that she can't do things because I'm giving her an opportunity to show me that she can. And I know as well, when people doubt in my psychic abilities, it's more difficult for me to get accurate information. But when they believe in it, it's much easier for me to tap in. So I think that's similarly true for Seven and her gifts. So I just want to encourage you to please have an open mind. And if anything, just trust our kids. Start speaking to your kids about where they're from. When we went to the Life Conscious Expo, there were no other kids there. The first 2 days, there were no kids. And I even spoke to the woman who is partially in charge of it, and she told me she's never seen kids there before until the last day. On Sunday, there was a ton of kids there. And this really made me happy because it appeared that what I was doing was working, and that is to bring these kids together. These kids are so powerful if they're allowed to come together, because they are not corrupted by our false beliefs and by our thinking that we can't do something. They know that they can. And so they're much more powerful and they're much more innocent. They don't have all these negative thought patterns going on that we do. They know what they can do. They are confident in it, and they are closer to God because they have, they're closer, the veil has not fully been removed from them yet. So if we sit down and we talk to our kids and just ask them, do you remember being born? Do you remember why you came to Earth? Do you remember if you lived on another planet before this? You will find that your kids have answers. They know these things. The kids being born these days are honestly, they know what they're here to do. And most of them are here to help humanity upgrade. Because this is what Spirit told me, that we have failed to stop fighting with one another. So it had to be the kids to come in. They had to work in the hybridization programs and bring in hybrids that we would listen to. That makes sense to me. In fact, it's really the only thing that makes sense. I know from asking in meditation, all of the negative ET factions have been pretty much banned from this galaxy. A lot of their agendas have been, they've really been cast out of here, and their agendas have been revealed. So if that's the case, then why can't we get along with one another? Why can't we be kinder to one another? And we are the only problem. We are the only problem from us going to the stars, is our inability to be kind to one another and to be loving and to treat people with just love and to take them for where they're at. We have to stop judging people, and we have to stop doing it with such a vitriol that we get so angry about things. It doesn't make sense. If it has nothing to do with you, why are you getting angry? I don't get it. But I can assure you this is not the end of the world. Not even close. This is going to be an interesting time to be sure, and things are going to get more complicated, but this is happening for our benefit. This is an amazing time in the history of humanity that we have not gone through ever. And we're experiencing it. We chose to come here, by the way, during this time. And so did our kids. So sit down with your kids and ask them these kind of questions. Just ask them. Sometimes they probably won't have answers, but sometimes they will. And they're not used to you asking these kinds of things, so it might take them 1 or 2 tries before they open up, because they've probably tried to say things like this in the past and have been shot down. Your kids are the key. They are innocent, they are loving, and they are here to change things, to change paradigms. Let's let them. Let's just see what happens. Okay? Like, crazier things have happened. Let's just give them a chance and see what happens. Because our ways haven't worked, right? I mean, they really haven't. We're no better off than we were, 20 years ago. So let's just give them a chance and see what happens. I think you're not going to be let down. But thank you to all of you for listening, and I would really love to hear the stories that your kids tell you. Please share them with Seven and I. We absolutely want to hear about it. So I love you all.